Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. Once in a while, an individual pops up in this country and stops us in our tracks. Someone who really makes us think and often makes us rethink what is important in life. Someone like Captain Tom during the pandemic. Or, of course, Rose Ailing Ellis and her time on Strictly Come Dancing, one of the most successful programmes on television. She is the most amazing role model for the deaf community and gave us an important insight into the barriers deaf people have to cross each and every day. Her use of BSL in a primetime TV programme has raised this issue into mainstream consciousness and shown us all that BSL should not be a marginalised language. In fact, British Sign Language is a beautiful, rich language. It has its own structure, its own grammar, its own slang. And hearing contributions from honourable and right honourable members across the House today has only reaffirmed to me the importance of understanding sign language and its value in society. And I pay tribute to the honourable member for West Lancashire for bringing this brilliant bill. Clearly, the significance of equality and accessibility with British Sign Language is both undeniable and unavoidable. This is exactly what I heard when I spoke to the National Deaf Children's Society. They outlined to me the challenges that many deaf children have had to deal with during the pandemic. In the run-up to this second reading, I heard from one constituent who said that if there ever was a time when access to information was important, it has been during the pandemic. In fact, one thing I learned from visiting the youth centre in my constituency, which is for young people with autism and learning difficulties, Caxton Youth Organisation, is that recognising visual communication will make even more people feel included. Indeed, I think it's important to note that it is not just the deaf community, as my right honourable friend, the member for Swindon South, said, who benefit, but also those with autism and learning difficulties. Many members may have noticed that I prefer to wear a see-through face mask as much as possible. And I do this to provide a message to the deaf community and those people who have to use lip reading to understand what I'm saying, what others are saying, that it's so important that it's inclusive. And I have had some criticism, Madam Speaker, from people on social media, it probably won't surprise you, who say, well, an awful mask. Well, I say to them, and anybody else who doesn't like my see-through mask, well, actually, I won't say what I would like to say. And I know from people who are in my constituency, such as Alexandra Morgan-Thomas, who was born deaf, why using my see-through mask is so important to her. Madam Deputy Speaker, today we have the opportunity to recognise this rich language, which is BSL, its history, culture, and principally ensure that British Sign Language users do feel completely included in our society. The bill has 4 points, main points, which I will welcome: to make BSL an official language in the UK, to establish a board to promote and facilitate the use of BSL, to state principles to guide the operations of bodies that provide public service, and to require bodies to promote and facilitate the use of BSL. I'm in no doubt that this government takes the principles of this bill seriously, and I thank the Minister, who I've had meetings with to discuss this bill, and also the Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster, who I met recently to ask him to support BSL throughout the government, and he was very supportive. And I'm delighted to stand with this government, with the Honourable Member for West Lancashire and charities working with deaf people, and the BSL users in the cities of London and Westminster to bring about much needed change. I back this bill, and as the Chamber will have heard in my recent business of the House, I am putting this commitment into action because, Madam Deputy Speaker, it is my New Year's resolution to learn British Sign Language, and I'm pleased to say that my first lesson will start next week. Thank you.